With the new year, many of us are setting goals to improve ourselves, our relationships, and our work environments. But what if one simple shift embracing kindness could transform all of these areas at once? Whether you're leading a team or just looking for more meaning in 2025, our next guest has the roadmap to make kindness your superpower. Kindness expert, consultant, and trainer Linda Cohen is the author of The Economy of Kindness: How Kindness Transforms Your Bottom Line. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Linda. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be with you.
Me too, and I like that we're ending the show on a kind note. So, Linda, kindness might seem to some like a soft skill, but you say it has serious ROI, return on investment. So how can kindness directly impact success, specifically in the workplace?
So I've been told that before, of course, that it's a soft skill, and I believe nothing could be further from the truth, because if you are a leader who leads with heart and empathy and kindness, you will have people who follow you to another organization. They will probably do more than they would if you were leading them with fear and competition. So I have seen it firsthand with the companies that I've worked with, how much a manager or even a coworker could really impact someone else when they're really kind.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, for folks juggling tight schedules and high pressure goals, being kind might feel like, oh, I don't have time for this. That's a luxury. But what are some small actionable ways to bring kindness into those busy work days?
Of course, everybody's busy. I don't meet anybody who isn't busy. So a lot of acts of kindness don't have to take a long time. I would say the biggest one right now is just giving each other grace. We've all come through many years of a global pandemic. There's all sorts of things around the world that are happening. So just, be great, give each other grace. Secondly is maybe actively listening to people, putting down our phones, really connecting with people and seeing what's going on for them. That can make a huge difference for someone, especially if somebody's struggling with somebody else or something outside of the workplace. Then they can have that opportunity to really feel like they are listened to. And the last thing I would say is just get to know your coworkers, get to know your neighbors, get to know each other. We have been told that we're different from each other, and I don't think that's true. I think that there's more similarities in our humanness than we're told every.
Yeah, and I mean, a compliment goes a long way too. It takes less than 10 seconds telling someone, hey, you did a great job on that project. Thanks for responding to that email. All simple things we can do just to be kind throughout the day. In your book, Linda, you mentioned companies that use kindness as a secret weapon. Can you share a favorite story about how kindness transformed a business?
Sure. I had a client that I was working with early in the pandemic who ran a home care organization, and his frontline workers were out doing their job at the beginning of the pandemic. And so he started meeting his home care workers in person and giving them the PPE, the protection equipment that they needed. But he would also bring them water. And at some point he started bringing, food for them, even special recommendations about what they might want to eat. And he found that this created a real connection with his frontline workers, and his turnover was zero, which at that time during the pandemic, a lot of his colleagues were having huge amounts of turnover. And he just said, I was investing in my people and I was getting to know them more, and it turned out to be a huge ROI for him.
Yeah, and people appreciate those nice, kind gestures. What are some ways leaders can practice clearer, more compassionate communication with their teams?
Yeah, I think asking questions and being curious, and my word of the year is curiosity. And I think when we are curious about people, what's going on for them, what's happening outside of the workplace, what are they interested in, what are their hobbies, instead of just being all about productivity and the final results. When you get to know people, and I actually had a client who called me and she said, Linda, because we're doing this kindness initiative, I had one of my employees ask me, he said, you don't really know me, get to know me. And they ended up sharing a cookie making project or something that was part of the organization. And she said, I did get to know him, and I got to learn about his home life, and it really connected us as human beings. And it made her a better boss for him because she took that time to do that.
All right. I love that. Well, all helpful ways that we can all learn how to be kind in all elements of our life. Linda, thank you so much to our viewers. The Economy of Kindness is available on Amazon, and you can find out more about Linda's work by heading to lindacohenconsulting.com.